Hello guys, it's me Samo13. I thought since I still haven't really thought up any content, I'm just going to show you my SNES and NES games. I thought I'd start off the video with the odd thing out, the console, because what I've told people a lot is that while I do own SNES games and NES controllers and NES games, I don't actually own the console. The SNES is the only thing I own, and it's broken since a fuse is dead in it. But I thought I'd show you anyway. Quickly show you the controllers, like the things basically that aren't games. There's a good old NES controller, which I've never used because obviously no console to use it on for some reason. Always wanted to. I do actually keep these in good shape. I've got two of them. So that's me knocking over the games to the side. Then there's a normal SNES controller. Sorry about that, I'm actually tangling it on this phone's charger wire because I basically can't use it not on charge because the battery's dead. Yeah, that's in okay shape, although I can't tell. It looks okay, so I trust that it works, since most Nintendo controllers do. This one's not. It's very dusty. It's a Competition Pro one, so it's like basically a weird looking SNES controller, and yeah, it's very dusty, very dusty. Anyway, to the NES games. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 NES games. Done with this. There's this called Low G Man, which I believe I've tried once, but I can't remember. Second is Trojan, which I don't believe that I've ever played. There's a chance, since I go through NES games like emulated quite a lot, so there is a chance that I've tried these at some point, but I can't actually remember what kind of games they actually are. Need to be a bit quicker with putting them away. Third is Stealth. It's definitely not really a game that I would play. I'm not a big fan of any sort of flight game because I'm just terrible. I mean, I'm okay at bullet hell games, but stuff that you actually need to fly and all that, I'm terrible. This is Goal, which is a football game, as you can guess. And I think I've played it, but it's one of those games where I can't even be bothered to play emulated. Next is a Digger T Rock, Legend of the Lost City. And that's another game where I sort of remember trying it at one point, but never really properly playing it. Then there's Pinbot. I've heard that the English version of this is totally anywhere. You can find it anywhere. It's a very good game. I heard that the American version's quite rare. A bit odd. Next is Marble Madness. This is a game that I have actually played quite a lot. I see a lot of people trying to do good. I still need to win this. I still haven't won it. It's a very tiny game, but I still haven't won. Next is Dream Master, Little Nemo's Dream Master, the game where you drug animals with sweets and then you climb in their mouth and kill them. Pretty much. And then you use their dead corpse as a costume. It's a great game. I might as well show you these three together. You can probably guess what they are. Super Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt. Super Mario Bros. 2, and Super Mario Bros. 3. I have all three of them, so well, I've only got 11 games. You can't say that I've got a bad collection. I mean, these three alone are a huge boost to a NES collection. I mean, everyone that wants a collection, even poor people like me with no money, you kind of just need those. Anyway, back to the SNES games. Thought I'd show you the odd one out first. Tecmo NBA basketball. And if you didn't already know, the reason this is an odd one out is because I'm obviously from the UK, and this is a US SNES game. You might be wondering why I had a US SNES game, but basically it's because I also own this, and it's a adapter where you put one of these, you put a SNES game of the region that you want to convert it to, and on the other one you put in the game that you want to be converted. So what you'd do is put a PAL game in one of these slots, whichever one it is, and then you'd put the Tecmo NBA in that one slot, and it would basically tell the SNES that you've got a PAL copy of Tecmo, basically. But I've never actually had the chance to try it out. In fact, this might have been the thing that blew the fuse of my SNES and killed it in the first place. So I don't think I'd ever want to try it out. Anyway, to the other games. Got much more than on the NES. Start off with this one. It's a good game, but someone tore off the label and replaced it with like this face and the F-Zero there. It's kind of dumb. I think it might have been an uncle that did that, but I never know. Next is Striker. It's a once again, it's a football game. I'm not a big fan of sports games, but I was addicted to the fact that this had a team editor, so you could edit all their names. So I always used to spend ages before playing like one match, making this team with loads of dumb names. I don't think they ever saved, though. That's the sad thing. None of the teams seem to stay there. But with emulators, obviously you can use save states and keep them. Next is NBA Jam. It's a game that I sort of like when I'm good at it. There are times when I'm absolutely terrible and then I only play it for a little while. And yes, I'm still talking emulated since the hardware is dead, but I do sometimes load it up in an emulator. Next is Mortal Kombat, and I might as well grab the other one. Mortal Kombat 1 and Mortal Kombat 2. Despite not being a big fan of these, I did end up with both of them, and it's kind of odd since these used to be owned by the family. It's kind of odd to see like proper like violent old games like that. Next is the Pagemaster. It's a game that I both like and completely hate, since I've never been able to win it. And that's not because I'm bad at gaming, it's because I've got this massively bad habit of activating a level skip cheat, which I found on my own. I found a level skip cheat on my own. I don't even know, I can't really remember how you like activate it, but basically all these like book enemies would end up turning all weird, and then you'd basically just have access to all the levels, and the ending would tell you that you cheated, and I'd be like, well, screw that, I didn't cheat on purpose, you gave it to me. Next is Lemmings to the Tribes, a game that I like but am terrible at. Yeah. ignore that if you heard it. Um, yeah, this game I've never really tried winning because it's just so damn difficult sometimes. I kind of got a bit of all the tribes done. I think I finished one of the tribes though. Next, Addams Family, an okay platformer, definitely much better than the NES one, which I played emulated once, or the Game Boy one. My god, those are horrible. This is a good one, and I have won it at one point, but for some reason, every time I try playing it now, I do terrible. Next is Starring, or Star Fox, which is what it should be called. I can't exactly remember why it was changed to Starwing. I think it was something to do with a German company with a similar name. But basically the same game. It's decent, but I am quite terrible at it, so I've never won it. Next is Porky Pigs Haunted Holiday. It's a game that I used to be terrible at, but then I sort of learnt how it all worked and I did win it at one point. But it's a sort of a game that you'd only want to win at once, and then even though you enjoy it, you still just don't really feel like playing it again. Next is Asterix, a game that I thought I was good at, but I've never won, because it does get very, very difficult later on, or at least difficult to me. It felt like it had a bit of a difficulty spike, or that might be another Asterix game that I played. I only own that Asterix game, but I have played like most of them. Next one, Earthworm Jim. I've got quite far in this game, but like most of the games I play, I never actually able to win them. But I have got really far, really, really far. I even had tons of continues and stuff. In fact, there's a small chance that I almost won, like very almost. Next is Judge Dredd, a game that I have actually won, and that's a surprise considering this game is actually really damn long for a SNES game. I mean, I know that's a bit bad compared to like RPGs or Super Mario World, but this game does take you by surprise. You think you've won, and then there's like a bunch more levels after that. And it's quite cool as well, since you've got all these guns and you can arrest people, or they might end up turning out to be like demons or whatever, and you have to kill them. Next is Mickey Mania. This is another game that I've won. I won it a few times, and I actually found a Easter egg once, which you probably already know. It's basically when you go up into the elevators in the Mad Doctor's lab, you can actually at one point trick the game by going, well, not trick the game, you go out of the elevator and then before it closes you go back in and then it carries on going up and you actually meet Mad Dr. Mickey. And that's like a little Easter egg, since you can win the entire game without actually knowing that. Next is Street Fighter 2. This is a game that I love and hate. It's like I'm terrible at it. But the fact that I've played it so damn much must mean there is something about it that I enjoy. And I do admit that when I completely destroy the opponents that have been destroying me, there is like so much satisfaction from that. Especially when, even if you spam the special moves, there's some satisfaction in out spamming the CPU. Like, you're faster than the CPU. I love doing that. It's so awesome. Getting to the last ones, we have Kirbys Dream Land. Note that I did not do that, but you know, it doesn't really ruin it, since the sticker's still in good nick. The weird thing about this game is that while I thought I almost won it, it turns out there's like a whole second course. But I mean that by that I mean like I think there's like 9 normal, and there's like another 9 that's like just special ones. So it's a very long game. Third to last, a very short game, Mystic Quest Legend. I actually thought this was the bad one, since for some reason someone wrote it on the top. I don't actually mind about stuff like that. I mean, I'm not going to resell it, and the sticker on there, that's fine. So, if something happened and this ended up in someone else's like collection or whatever, which will never happen, they could probably just clean that off. But I actually quite enjoy this game. I wish there was more to it though, but obviously there isn't, because it's made for like basically RPG noobs. But it would be nice to see the characters come back at some point, like a remake for people that aren't noobs. Third to last, Pluck, a game that I have won. It's a very enjoyable game if you haven't played this and you would like a platformer with a character that is similar but not Rayman. I think this was actually done before Rayman, obviously, but the fact that there was apparently a SNES prototype for Rayman does make me wonder, was this the first idea of a character that's limbs like weren't attached to the body? Was this the first one, or was Rayman's prototype the first one? Because we don't know why Rayman wasn't actually put onto the SNES. Was it too late to go on the SNES or something? Second to last, obviously, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. These are like obvious ones at the end. A very enjoyable game, won so many times. I think I've done a 100% run before, where I got literally everything you could possibly do, and that's without any sort of like walkthroughs and stuff. So technically I haven't got a 100% run because I didn't get into the Chris Houlihan room, that like little debug room for that winner or whatever. I've never got into that. I never got into that in this copy, at least, anyway, since obviously I don't think I need to say it again. But yeah. And the last game, Super Mario World. Sorry to disappoint you if you thought I had something cool like Super Metroid. That's a game that I would love to own, but I can't really afford anything at all, and there's literally no point in getting a game for a console that I can't actually play at the moment. So here it is, Super Mario World. Won so many times, did 100% run. I even found a little secret in one of the those like Resnos castles, those rhino things. It's basically, there's a door where you can enter the battle, and some lava to the right of it, and you can literally just fly over that lava if you're careful, and there's a bunch of lives at the end, and that's something a few people don't notice. It's not that special, but it's there. And yeah, the video's getting a bit very, very long, so if you liked randomly looking at some games in terrible quality, then like, comment, and subscribe maybe, I don't know, I'll just say that anyway. And I'll see you next time.